Welcome back. You're watching Beyond the Headline with me, Tamanna Inamdar. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has lashed out at the government over the recent border clashes with China. He was speaking at a press conference to mark 100 days of the Bharat Jodo Yatra and claimed that China was busy preparing for war while the government of India was busy playing down the threat. The comments are coming in the backdrop of the skirmish in Tawang on the 9th of December between Indian and Chinese soldiers that clashed, leading to multiple injuries on both sides. Rahul Gandhi claims that China's intentions have been clear since the last 2 years, but the Indian government is in a state of slumber. The BJP has responded to the attack, saying this is not the India of 1962, and Rahul is taking the Chinese line. Listen in.
जिन्होंने 2000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर हिंदुस्तान का उठा लिया, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के 20 जवानों को शहीद किया, जो हमारे जवानों को अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पीट रहे हैं, मैंने कहा हिंदुस्तान की प्रेस मुझसे इनके बारे में एक सवाल नहीं पूछेगी। सरकार उसको इग्नोर कर रही है, मगर उस थ्रेट को ना छुपाया जा सकेगा और ना इग्नोर किया जा सकेगा। उनका पूरा प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है, उनका लद्दाख की साइड और अरुणाचल की साइड पूरा ऑफेंसिव प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है। हिंदुस्तान की सरकार सोई हुई है। अगर आप उनका वेपन्स का पैटर्न देख लें, वो क्या कर रहे हैं वहां पे, वो युद्ध की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और हमारी सरकार इस बात को छुपाती है और इस बात को शायद एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाएगी।
रिश्वत, एक तरफ से रिश्वत लेके कांग्रेस पार्टी ने राजीव गांधी फाउंडेशन को, एक तरफ से रिश्वत है, पैसा लेके क्या क्या किया है ये सवाल उठाया है और कितना लैंड कांग्रेस के कालखंड में, नेहरू जी के कालखंड में स्पेशली, और बाद में कैसे हमारा परमानेंट मेंबरशिप इन्होंने सैक्रिफाइस करके चाइना को दिया, ये सब इट इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ द पीपल एंड पीपल नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग। एंड राहुल गांधी शुड नॉट बी टेकन सीरियसली बिकॉज ये तो कोई कुछ बोलते हैं, कोई कुछ लिख के देते हैं, वो पढ़ते हैं। आई डोंट वांट टू रिएक्ट ऑन हिम।
The PLA patrol had transgressed and which was contested very firmly and resolutely by our forces on ground, which led to some amount of physical violence. But I am happy to say that it was contained at the local level. The local commanders were able to resolve the issue by carrying out negotiations and resorting to the existing protocols. And that was followed by a flag meeting at the delegation level at Bumla, wherein the issue has been resolved further. Presently, I would like to assure everybody that the border areas along the northern frontier is stable and we are firmly in control.
Major General Ashwini Siraj, retired defense expert, with me on the show. Lieutenant Colonel retired Anil Duhun, also with me on the show to explain to us what really is going on. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us. Major General Siraj, let me begin by understanding, is this threat being underplayed? Forget about the politics of all of it. Rahul Gandhi has made a certain statement. He's claiming China is preparing for war. How do you assess that statement and the threat of what is happening at the line of actual control?
Well, you see, there is no doubt the Chinese have come with the 3 division in month of May. They surprised India by, coming there. But that is also fact. Within 1 month, we had a mirror image deployment. And in fact, we were more than the strength of the Chinese. And thereafter, the Chinese have been building up the infrastructure. But the speed by which India is constructing, that is also to be taken into consideration. We have built up roads, bridges, we have built up a logistic supply depot, and the Chinese also building up toward their side, say in Arunachal Pradesh, they have also built up villages very close to the line of actual control. These are not villages, but a defended locality in case of war. They have also upgraded their airfields. They have also moved their logistic supply depot in Tibet Autonomous Region. But having said so, the India is very well prepared. We know it. Any country which is preparing for infrastructure and all, we are always prepared for a war. So to say that the Chinese are preparing and they can launch a war, that is understatement, because both the countries are prepared, and we cannot be taken by surprise. Now, the way we are developing our infrastructure in completely Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh, in last 10 to 8 to 10 years, one can say that what has happened is that development which was not taken place earlier in the border area in terms of roads and bridges and railway line, that has come up. So I will certainly tell to our viewers that our country is well prepared. Indian Army, Indian Navy, Indian
No,
Air
of
Force
course.
is well
There's no
prepared for
doubt
any
about that.
misadventure.
I'm trying to understand. There's no doubt about it that the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, the Indian forces are well prepared. I'm trying to understand the assessment of the Chinese threat. And let me
See,
just take that also. Let me take that,
yeah,
sir, to
yeah,
Lieutenant Colonel Anil Duhun. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can finish your point if you wish.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to tell, no doubt about it. You see, the problem today in China is that economically China is not doing well. Inflation rate is very high. Their zero
Right.
COVID policy is going, you can say, not working well. People are protesting, they are coming road. So China can go to any extent to divert the attention of the public. They can do some
Exactly.
misadventure there. The Yangtze, if they have come in, is one of them. They could have gone toward Taiwan also, but possibly they know that US has got two aircraft carrier in basically in South China Sea. So they have come there. Why have they come to Yangtze? Because Yangtze is the one which dominates the area around. It dominates about 8 to 9 kilometer way toward the Bumla, toward the Chinese side. So point is that this is not the first time. They came last year also. They're trying for last about 10 years because it is in our control from 86 onward. So my point of telling is Chinese, of course, you cannot take them lightly. They are preparing for war. Their infrastructure is increasing. So are we. We are knowing exactly what has happened in last 2 years. Our drones, our UAV, our satellite is working. We are also a strategic partner to US and we are getting the latest input from their satellite. So having said so, I can say certainly, of course, Chinese can prepare for war. You must understand that they are developing their infrastructure. Their intention can't be known, but we are well prepared for any misadventure
Right.
in case the China do.
You know, I think two important points that were made, and let me bring this to Lieutenant Colonel Anil Duhun as well. One is about China's own internal strife, a slowing economy, COVID breakout. They've reported their first COVID death today after they were forced to lift restrictions following protests. So the Chinese government has to find a diversion. Secondly, the increasing proximity between India and the United States is irking them. Is that the backdrop in which we should look at the incidents of 9th December?
Thank you so much for inviting me, and good evening to you and good evening to Janswat sir. Good evening to all the viewers. I will go back to June 2020 before I answer your question. When they came in Galwan, if you check my Twitter timeline, I had mentioned that it is not an out of like one of the instance or incident that they have come to Galwan. They would be having a strategic aim to be achieved. Now, what would that strategic aim would be? That is for our military minds who are serving to ponder over and the political class to ponder over. That is one. Out of 3,500 almost kilometers of border sharing with China, now there are total 23 points which are areas of different perceptions. Now, if we say that it happened in Galwan, it happened in Arunachal, it will not happen elsewhere, then I think we are not assessing the situation correctly. Seeing the political situations within China, to answer your question, do you really think they need to like deflect the public attention? I don't think I'll agree with you on that, because it is such an iron fist rule in China that whether public is in agreement or not, they don't care a damn to it. They don't care a damn to it. Coming to the preparedness and infrastructure build-up along the border, well, it is an ongoing process. See, the matter may take precedence, the matter may not take precedence under given circumstances. The area may take precedence, the area may not take precedence under the circumstances. So to say that it has happened very recently, no, it is ongoing process. Don't forget, take your mind back to Kargil days when the Kargil battle was fought. There was no road. There was no track. There was no heli drops. The area did not permit even 50 meters by 50 meters of plain area where supplies or ammunition or anything for that matter could be dropped. But did we not win that war? We did. So to say that infrastructure will make you win the war, no, it's not. It is the will of the soldier on ground where the rubber meets the tarmac. They will win wars for you. Had it been other way around, trust me, Russia would have walked over Ukraine long time back.
That is a great example. I want to add one more dimension to this conversation, and let me come to you.
If you permit me.
Yes, sir, please.
I want to bring just one point, and that is leave aside US and Canada where they share a very friendly borders. In the entire world, well, the defense and the army or the air force or the navy are meant to be doing this only. So what is new here? And Indian defense forces are the most battle-hardened force on earth today. So let the neighbors not be under some wrong fallacy that they can, walk over us and all. Thank you so much.
The aspect that I was adding to the conversation, sir, and Lieutenant Colonel Duhon, this is for you, is the attack, or if we are saying China is preparing for war, is that going to come in the form of what we are seeing in these pictures? Or is it also going to come in terms of what we've seen in AIMS? Cyber attacks, hitting out at institutions in different forms. And that is also what we need to prepare for.
Okay. See, you never check the depth of water by 2 feet. You put one leg inside the water to find the depth of the water. Now, these may be the testing parameters which China has adopted, the way we would react, how quickly we would react, what all equipment we are capable of moving to thwart any kind of aggression from their side. Now, it has happened on 2 fronts, that is Galwan and Arunachal. Tomorrow, or maybe after a year, maybe after 2 years, what if that happens in Himachal? Are we going to rule it out? Because, as I mentioned earlier, there are 23 areas of different perceptions. So definitely you can give it a given that out of 23, at least 5 to 7 they will test. And by doing so, what is happening? They are pinning down, or they are making our troops commit on ground. Now, when the troops or extra troops gets committed on ground, any military mind would agree with me that then changing the a place for the troops, it takes time, it takes effort. So it is a drain on your capabilities. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us today on the show. Let's go across now to the special report filed by Shivani Sharma.
The first comment from the Eastern Army Commander General R.P. Kalita has come after the incident of 9th of December in Tawang sector. Lieutenant General R.P. Kalita today said that along the line of actual control, the preparedness of Indian Army is strong. And what happened on 9th of December was because the PLA wanted to cross inside the Indian territory and they were strongly stopped, and the Indian Army pushed them back. And he also said that the preparedness for the winter is strong, and on ground, as the Indian Army has been enhancing the deployments in the air, the Indian Air Force has been exercising in the eastern sector with all the assets, including the Rafale, Sukhois, and in the sea, in the Bay of Bengal, India has successfully tested the Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile. And this is the message that India is giving across to China, how it's being countered everywhere it intends to intrude into the Indian territory. And in the Eastern Command, where the Arunachal sector and the Tawang sector comes, the Eastern Army Commander has also said that along the line of actual control, the Indian Army is strong in terms of deployments and morale. This is Shivani Sharma with Vijay Pankaj Gupta reporting for Mirror Now from Tawang, Arunachal Pradesh.